Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Now, first off, happy Easter to everyone. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, it's one of my favorite holidays. So, just a friendly reminder, ultimately, all separation is an illusion. We're all one, creating this reality together. And I hope you're enjoying your creation so far, and that it just gets better from here. So, anyone out there joining us, be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. The first time, of course, there's no charge for readings. Going forward after that, it's $10 per card, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. So, thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Happy Easter, everyone. Here's to your blessing, to your renewal, and a redefining of life, because that's really, when we think about what's taught in Christianity or really Buddhism or any religion, it's this renewal of life. And that we get caught up in this pretense of separation, that we're really separated even from the ones that have passed on, the ones that we've loved, our coworkers, our families. But there is a connection here. There's always this connection. And people that are in our lives or that are not in our lives are still there to help us grow. They're trainers. So that incense that I lit was about helping you shift awareness. That I'm here to teach you, but guess what? You're here to teach me. So this is to remain open. And even the people in our lives, even some of the challenging, whether they're people or whether they're situations, those are lessons. You know, on Star Trek, I love the holographic programs. They would program these scenarios, like whether they would be fighters, whatever they could imagine. They would program this hologram to reenact this training program, and then they would go in and fight or do whatever. And so I've often thought about shifting awareness that even some of the opponents or some of the challenging things we face in life, there are trainers. And so my teachers used to tell me, it's really important to get the lesson now. Or you can get it later, but it's really important to get it now. But that's up to you, whether you want to get the lesson now or get it later. What I mean by later, I don't mean like necessarily next week or next month or next year, maybe even next lifetime. So that's why I love this card tonight. It's our group card. It's about helping you shift frequencies, and that's really what Easter is about. It's about moving from still being physical, but moving your frequency up. When you think about Easter and the story around it and the resurrection, that people actually saw Christ in the body, but he would, like an avatar, phase in and out of that body. There's something happening. We are raising our frequencies, absolutely, unequivocally, stepping out of your comfort zone. This card is about doing something that is really stepping out of your comfort zone. When I was asked to do this show 2 years ago, it was a real stretch for me. And then when I brought it home after a year, and Kenan, the producer here, my son, was able to help me put it together, I just thought it was all impossible. It was all too much. So, what this card is in the next few days, in the next few weeks for you, is stepping out of your comfort zone. Now, it may take some bravery. It may take you looking at your life lessons going, why is this lesson being repeated? Universe, show me here what I need to learn. Some of you have been in very negative relationships in the past, and you knew you had to get out of them, or very uncomfortable jobs. And when you think about it, it's with the way of the universe kind of moving you out of that into something brand new. So this card is about huge leaps in awareness. But a way to another say it is a huge leap in consciousness, or things that you're aware of, but just be open to them. And then take responsibility for your own terrain. Be free of blaming, shaming anyone or any situation, especially others. And then, especially, are you willing to be free completely of any self-criticism? Because you're growing. You know, a toddler, when it's 3 or 4 years old, or 2 and 3 years old, when it begins to walk, it doesn't curse itself out for falling down. It just gets back up and keeps going. Be the toddler. Just get up, just keep going. Be free of any self-criticism in any way, shape, or form. This is your spiritual guides preparing you for Jedi training. So, I love this card. All right. Got a great show tonight. Again, happy Easter. All right, here we go, Lindsay. So the Devil's Play card, Lindsay, it's being free of judgment of others. So you know how when people go to a movie, and if you listen to people when they're leaving the movie, some people really love the movie, some people really hated the movie. Well, if you're the director or an actor in that movie and you listen to these negative comments, it can really, really bring you down. And so what is it that you're are you willing to let go of any constructs around how you live your life, or your art, or how you're raising your children? And what I mean by that is letting go of the constructs of criticism from others. You know, Aesop fable, there's an Aesop fable where this old man and this young man, or this old man and his son, are taking the goods to market. And they have this donkey. They have everything loaded on the donkey, and they're going to town. They pass a group of people, and they go, "Oh, look at that poor donkey. You know, that strong young man, he should be carrying all the goods." So they take all the goods off the donkey, and they put it on the son. And the next group of people they pass go, "Oh my God, that lazy old man, he should be carrying that stuff." So they stop, they take all the goods off the son, put it on the old man. They go down the road. Anyway, my point, the Aesop fable ends with the boy and the old man carrying the donkey upside down on a stick with its legs tied to the stick, and all the goods piled on top of the donkey because of all this criticism that they were continually buying into. And the Aesop fable ends with the donkey bucking and getting really upset and going off a bridge, and they lose the donkey and all the goods. This is releasing any and getting rid, throwing away any 8-track tapes you have. I don't even know, you're not probably not even old enough for 8-track tapes. But you get my drift. Like, oh, maybe cassette tapes, Lindsay? I don't know. I'm not going to try to guess your age. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like getting rid of the old tapes is what I'm saying. On going, oh, when you catch yourself doing this self-criticism, go, oh, no. That's a cassette tape from the 80s that is warped. Throw it out. It's absolutely throwing it out. Throwing out the old tapes around this. And just playing. Absolutely playing your game without having to follow anyone else's rules. All right, my dear Marilyn. So, Marilyn, there's people that growing up, there were kids that when they saw a bee's nest, I don't know, there was something like in their genes, I don't know, in their DNA that would go, let's get a stick and hit the bee's nest. And I don't know. Just not thinking. Absolutely not thinking. So Kenan, I was going to have him talk about this tonight because it was so good. We were talking earlier this afternoon, and it has to do with 51%. And I go, what do you mean 51%? And correct me if I'm wrong here.
51st thing.
The 50. So you meet people, and they've had a flat tire, and then they broke their nail, and then their hair got wet, and then they stumbled and they hurt their toe, and on and on and on. And then there's 50 things that happen to them. And then you cross their path and you have this wonderful smile and you're just awesome. Guess what, Marilyn? You're the 51st thing. And I'm telling all of this on the show. It's not you. It's just that they've had 50 things pile up on that day, or maybe the lifetime, or maybe that week. And you come along and you're just minding your own business, and you happen to be that 51st thing. It's like the straw that breaks the camel's back, and it was nothing you did. Is that the idea behind it, Kenan?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's not you. And this is where you don't know what energies are going on around people. So I'm asking you to really take a look at stepping back, and rather than making it about or worried about something you did or something you said, or, oh my God, I could have, should have, would have done it better. I should have, could have, would have said this. No. Stop. This is you going, you know what? I just happen to be the 51st thing in their life, in their path, or whatever it is. What if it isn't me? And then the other thing is, and I really believe this, I know this to be the case. As you grow spiritually, your light, and I'm talking to everybody on the show, your light shakes up other people's demons. And I leave it at that. Okay, Austin, here we go. Happy Easter, everybody, again, if you're just joining the show. So, Austin, I don't know if you like history, if you've studied history. There's something with the Assyrian Empire here. Assyrian. Can you look up Assyrian Empire, when the Assyrian Empire was... I know nothing about this.
21st century BC to 14th century BC.
The Assyrian?
Yeah. It was a city-state.
It was a city-state.
Started in the 21st century BC, and it basically went to the 7th century BC.
Oh, it's 21st century BC.
Right. So
Okay,
it was
okay.
for a long time.
So it was like 2,000 years before Christ. This is definitely, I'm not going to, there's something with this, there's a connection with you with this, and I don't know what it is. So I'll either call you or text me, or you can call me or text me. But there's something, what was the Assyrian Empire known for?
So I'm reading.
Well, you're not bad at it, Austin. You're not bad at it. There's something around a previous life coming up around this. And Kendon's going to do a little research. I'm going to have to do a little more research on this myself. But there's... so I don't know what their relation is with magic. But I do know that anywhere where you have been made wrong or bad for how you materialize things, you have a manifest, that's the word. You have an ability to manifest things, and it appears as magic to other people. And anywhere where you have made yourself small or apologetic in doing that, can you do more? Can you do bigger? And despite having been put to death in a previous life, or where you accumulated a tremendous amount of wealth and were put to death for it from shenanigans, from not good people. This is so odd that it's coming up during the show, but it's a much deeper subject. I know even I see Melanie's on the show again. Thank you, Melanie, for coming back. There was much more information that I couldn't cover with you on the show about that mother card the other night. So, all right, Austin, here we go. Marilyn?
Maryland. Well, yeah, Maryland Maddox.
Maddox. Okay, hey, Marilyn. Is Abby here too?
Yeah.
Okay, Marilyn and Abby.
Marilyn.
Oh, yeah, Marilyn and Abby. Okay, here we go. All right. I see Abby now. Okay, breakthrough. breakthrough. Marilyn, oh, man, you could feel this one. You know, the whole...
Lindsay's of Assyrian descent. That's one. Sorry.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Lindsay, you're of Assyrian descent? I'm sorry, Marilyn. And he used to be a magician. I love that. Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. I love this. I can feel the energy. And thank you, Marilyn, for the breakthrough card, because this is allowing the energy to come through a lot faster. And I know you all can feel it. This is something with just... I don't know how long it takes an egg to gestate before it's hatched, but this is a breakthrough. This is like a aha, like a healing aha. It's like, or whatever is like causing maybe an illness or causing it, let's say, a discomfort, whether that's physical, mental, or emotional. It's about getting the aha and then it breaking. It just leaving. Because every illness is connected to a belief system or an energy. And it's being aware of this energy. This is you breaking through, or your ability to help other people break through. Yeah, it's like this healer ability coming up more in you now. And be courageous. This is about you being courageous, you being brave, to step up and tell people the truth. Because you can do it in a really, you can do it kindly where people get it. Okay. All right, Abby. And then we'll do Tiffany. Okay. Tiffany, by the way, thank you so much for the donation. And then, so Abby, this is the so when I get off, when I get hit with whatever it is, Kenneth doesn't say what's wrong with you. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, well, maybe I'm not okay. Let's check in. Let's look at this. So, especially Abby, if you're out, let's say you're in your market, you're doing your marketing, you're at a fair, and you come back and you're just kind of off. Well, Marilyn, fortunately, is quite gifted with this breakthrough, and allowing her, listen, if you're going to go for a hike in the woods, we did this all the time in Montana and Idaho. When you went for a walk in the woods, afterwards you checked each other for ticks. I mean, that's just what you used to do. And I wasn't offended. Like, okay, this is allowing Marilyn to check you for ticks. You know what I'm saying? Like energetic or projections, that type of thing. When you're, especially when you're around a lot of people, it's really good. It's really good. They're kind of like negative ticks. So everybody on the show, if you feel a little bit off, if you feel kind of weird, it might be a tick. So text me or call me, okay? Like I just find this so like I have to go back to like Lindsay and Austin. I'm like, why is the Assyrian coming up? And then Lindsay, you have Assyrian ancestry. Like the universe is stranger than we can think. It is amazing. So, all right, Tiff, here we go. You know what, Tiffany? This is the fortune card. So it's fortune, not just money, but it's like this fulfillment to absolutely know that who you are, what you have to offer, what you have done, who you've helped. And this is especially like your daughter coming through again, just so grateful, just full of grace, full of gratitude, and that there is no separation. This it's a pretense of separation. It's how we were raised to view distance, or to view death, or to view time. And there is no separation. There's absolutely no separation. And so there's this fortune card for you where it's growing exponentially. You know what? Listen to the Beatles more.
Tomorrow is the start of the Assyrian New Year. Sorry.
So this is for you, Fortune, Tiffany. Also be a little more conservative with your time and your workload. Because somebody has a fortune doesn't mean that they just give it away. This is being very mindful of your energy, and that you can donate, but not all of your fortune. So not all of your time, not all of your energy. Conserve it and listen to the Beatles. I don't know where that came from, but it's there's something I read years ago about the music of the Beatles. If any of you are musically inclined, you can share this. They discovered, they did some heart studies where it actually helped to tune the heart, or it was like 4-beat, where it worked in conjunction with the heart. It was why it was so popular. That was kind of out of nowhere. Okay. Tiffany, Abby. Okay, hey, Melanie, thank you so much for being back. Okay. Melanie, this is the woman of worlds. It's the preserver. And the thing is, after the show the other night, there's, and I've really puzzled over this, like, because it's something I've never seen before. Okay, all right, here it is. It's acknowledgement. This is important, and I don't know why, but I know it's important to acknowledge that you are a good mother, that you have been a good mother. And what it has to deal with, so life is this continuum. Time is, from what I've seen, and I'm speaking only from my how I've experienced things with other people, is that time isn't past, present, and future. It's all kind of running at one time. So sometimes during a reading, and if you've been on the show for a long time, you know some of these stories that I've had even with some of you. So one time, I will tell this story again. There's a gentleman on the show. There was like a ghost around him, but it wasn't a ghost. It was like an attachment. It was a soldier from a previous life. It was like an echo. It was like an echo of his life, that he died in World War II. And he was shot down over Germany. And I won't go into all the details of it. It would take up the rest of the show. But there was this echo from a previous life. This is like that. And anywhere where you have taken the blame from a past life of not having been a good mother, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate all of that now? Because I really get that very strongly. And it came up in this show, because you see the pregnant woman here again. And this is called the preserver. So the preserver is something that is carried forward. It's preserved for future lifetimes. And it's important for me to share this message with you, because it's clearing that energy for future lifetimes. I hope that made sense. Anyway, I did instant message you, I think, on Facebook, but you can instant message me back. All right, thank you, Melanie. All right, Jared and Kat, what an incredible reading yesterday. Thank you guys so much. All right. So let me put it this way. This is like, so liken it to a lawyer that is collecting evidence for a case for you to win. And you don't know how that lawyer thinks. You don't know how they go about their business, how they accumulate the information that they do, or how they're going to present it. This is the Guardian card, Jared. This is where you're not here to win a battle. You're here to win the war. So what I mean by that is, where things seem like a setback isn't really, because there's more big guns. You know, one of my favorite movies is called My Cousin Vinny. And I'm not going to go into the plot of the movie, but this is where we have these guardians. And I'm speaking to you, but I'm speaking to everybody on the show. Think of the guardians as lawyers that don't really tell you everything that's going on, because they're still collecting information, or necessarily how they're going to present the case. But we've got these guardians, and we don't know sometimes how things are going to work out, but they're going to work out. And this is important to put your guardians, and I texted you yesterday, to put the blessing on your house, but also on your business, the building. the people in the business. Okay? Okay. All right, Kat. So, Kat, you're definitely changing roles. It's you've had this really, really, really long run on Broadway, like years, playing the same role. Now it's time for you to take a break. And there's this new role coming in. It will be a stretch for you, but you're going to win it. You're going to get it. And I'm talking about this idea of the spa, but it's more than what you're thinking. So just allow the universe all right. So when you blow a balloon up and it gets bigger and you're bigger and bigger, the person blowing the balloon is going to know how big it's going to get. But you're like, oh my God, it's going to pop. It's going to pop. No, it's not going to pop. Trust, it's a big balloon. And it's going to get bigger than you think it is. It's a big role. So this is, again, going back to our group card, which, Kat, was the shifting frequencies. This is a perfect example for the group card tonight of you shifting frequencies, where you're lining for this new role. Wow, that was really good. Okay, all right, Mindy. Happy Easter, everybody, again. And everybody, welcome Christy Semenko. Thank you for being here for the first time. All right. So, Mindy, you're needing practice balancing. Now, I don't recommend you going to like a sporting goods store, but they do have these balance boards that you can stand on. I don't recommend you getting one of those, but you can just start by standing by your kitchen counter and standing on pillows, standing on an uneven surface, standing on one foot. I mean, holding onto the counter, standing on one foot, right? And practicing balancing. You're needing to balance better. This exercise right here will help that. And to view what you've been through the past few months as a training. And be grateful for it. For what has, but also what has not worked out. And you're coming back more into balance. But it's important to actually, in order to bring in spiritually and mentally and emotionally balance, bring in like physical balance. That's why I'm encouraging you to practice doing balance exercises. Like Alexandra, like have her show you some balance exercises. All right, Christy, thank you so much for being here. So what we do, if you're new on the show, I basically shuffle through the deck, and whatever card falls out, the way I view it is helping your guides, your higher self, however you want to term it, pick the card. So this Easter time, right, is a wonderful example of huge loss and then great joy. But when you're going through any sorrow, when you're going through any loss, when you're going through any disconnect from situations or people, there is the sorrow, and it's okay. And being free of labeling it as bad so for instance, people that have lost people, they're getting better. Sometimes it takes months and weeks, months, years to get over it, and then all of a sudden they think about that person, and then they get really sad again. What's happening is, and now this is again from my experience, what I've experienced, what others have, what I've seen with others, is why can't I see the person? Why aren't they talking to me? Why? It's because you're in this constriction of this grief. And part of it is when you think of them, they're trying to communicate to you, but then people go into grief. They go into this loss. They're focusing on the loss and not listening to the message. So it's this theme of the show tonight, which is the pretense of separation. It's not truly separation. It's a matter of these people that we've lost. We haven't really lost them. And when we think of them or get sad, that's when they're there. So be aware of that, and it can change that constriction of loss into an openness of receptivity to be able to understand what they're saying to us, or the feeling or the emotion that they're giving us. It isn't our imagination. It is absolutely not our imagination. Okay. Hey, Jack. Thanks for being here. Okay, here we go. Okay, we were talking about the 51%. Then what was the other one we were talking about?
The thing with the tension, how people will behave.
Okay, thank you.
Pay attention.
Okay, thank you. I knew this was going to come up in the show tonight. I said, Kenan, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know which one of these we need to talk about. But this came up. Kenan brought this up before the show. And I'm like, there's a reason for this. And Jack, you're the reason for this. And Kenan help me out here, right? Because this is the compassion card. And tell me again what it is you said earlier.
So, when people get positive attention, and then they don't get that again?
Okay, thank you. So Kenan says, when people get positive attention and then they don't get the attention again, then they create something negative to get attention, because to them, at least it's attention. whether it's negative or positive. They're getting attention. They just need attention. And it's not about being angry or mad around a situation. They're just needing love. And there are some situations where you just simply, I'm not talking about being robbed and going, oh, that robber needs compassion. I'm not talking about that. But these irritating situations that come up, what's really going on behind the scenes, especially if they're with family, that can keep us trapped or locked in. Okay? This is about, and please be a little bit more compassionate with yourself, and any energy that is imposing on you right now, can you just simply return to sender? Okay, good job. All right, my dear Ashley. So Ashley, anywhere where, so in at the turn of the 19th century, 20th century, there were these tenement houses in New York. And there was literally just a floor, just a very thin layer of wood between floors. And so when men would come home, they would kick off their boots. And so it would cause this huge thump. And so they kick off their one boot, thump, and then there would be, the people below would be waiting for the next shoe to fall. Thump. That's where the term waiting for the next shoe to fall. Things come in threes. Okay, are you willing to release any of that belief system, or those, even repeating any of those, because this is the oppression card. Or avoiding people that create oppression because they've learned how to create oppression to get attention. It's what I was saying before to Jack. So you've got the compassion card with Jack, you've got the oppression card here, and just putting your foot down and going, enough is enough. Or not, just not even buying into it. Simply walking away. Because there are oppression bullies. There are people with bad behaviors. They've just learned bad behaviors. And you don't have to, you're free of buying into it. You're free of buying into it. Return to sender. So I know somehow that makes some sense with you tonight. Thank you all so much. Thank you all very much for being here. We'll do this again tomorrow night. Happy, blessed renewal to you. Happy, blessed Easter. Have a great evening.